what is the reaction of the people that are that are seeing what you guys are doing? What do they say? What do you hear?
The good or the bad?
Both.
Well, I always like to start with good news. The good news is always that keep going. That's the theme that is going through the majority. I would say 80% of people that come forward, they either want to be a part of it or they want to support the cause to keep it going. So it's the keeping it going piece that we are so proud to report. The 10% of it, or I talked about 80%, so there's 20% left. 10% of the bad, which is the 20% we're talking about. 10% of the bad is they want to duplicate. And what I'm noticing now is there's quite a few companies, organizations, NGOs that are duplicating exactly what we do and renaming it something else, trying to get the credit. Recently, our securities team, we have a securities team now that tuples confidentiality, NDA breaches. Now we're looking at trademark infringements. How one organization literally was brought to my attention that literally copied everything we did word for word and just put different pictures up there. And they call themselves some international entity out of West Africa. We're just going to put West Africa. We're not going to label the country. But they wanted to market an NGO that was in West Africa. And it lit almost word for word, almost to the point where I think they changed my name and they changed the name of the organization. But everything else was word for word what we did. They took out my face and put somebody else's face. And I found out that that was a face actually they got off of the internet. Because when you go to look at the research, the face came up to be somebody totally different than the name that they put in the founder's block. And they did this trying to be the new face of gender and human rights. So that's 10% of they say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, except when you're trying to garner money in our respects. So that was different. Then the other 10% are just haters. They're just people that come along and they say, oh, how dare you think you can do this? How dare you think this can happen? And who are you to go in all these countries and do this? And who's backing you? And is this legal? And all that, and it's just like, wow, you're not doing it. You're not even posing a way to do it. You're not putting money to do it. You're not even trying to help another organization do it, but you're complaining about what I'm doing? Really? If that doesn't scream the definition of a hater, I don't know what does. But just like one of my girlfriends told me last week, she said, Dr. Ameena, if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. Yeah. And when she said it, it was like, wow, I never thought of it that way. She said, yeah, if you don't have haters, that means that whatever it is that you're doing is not functionally right. So I had to look at it in that sense that people are going to come because that's their job. Their job is to hate on us so that we can be better. Because if the definition of a hater is that they only come when you're doing something right, then we need more haters. We need more people to come along and say, Dr. Ameena, what are you doing? How are you doing this? What's going on? Because that means that we're continuously doing the thing that the people need, desire, and trust. When people are replicating what you're doing, they see the power in what you're doing and they want it for themselves. Even if it is to create a criminal enterprise, they're still using your model to do that because they see the power in its potential. Thank you, but no thank you. So I have to take the good with the bad. I love the good because that lets me know that people want to be a part. I get emails every single day, literally every single day. Dr. Ameena, how can I be a part of FIGHR? How can I join? What can I do? How can I be a part? We have an organization that does this. We want to be a part of FIGHR. I even had a young lady come on and say, would you co-sponsor us in an event? Because we want to use FIGHR's power to promote our event. I was like, wow, we've never had that asked. Can we use your logo in our event so that we can, get people to join? Wow, that's never happened to me. That's never happened for people to ask me, can we use your logo so that people can come aboard and trust our organization? Wow. So that leads me to believe that this is a powerful force. This is not me. You notice I'm not saying me, I did this. I'm saying we, because it's all about the us. This is that unification that I'm talking about, why I'm behind Pat, because we have to be an us in this. there has to be someone that takes responsibility and accountability, especially if something goes wrong. Put my face there, because I hold responsibility to anything for fire. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to stop because someone is uncomfortable, or because I'm doing something that I'm cornering the market in that, and now they want a piece of that monopoly. I'm not going to stop because someone is saying, well, what does this woman think she can do? I'm not going to stop because they're saying, oh, well, she's not an actual ambassador to the United Nations, so how is she formulating herself as an ambassador? Because I'm part of the delegation. And if you don't see the power in what it is that you are, no one else will. I am an emissary in my own fact, because I have the organization that has been put together, that is sovereign in its own right, and has been accepted by my country. So that gives me power in and of itself. And if you don't see that by registering through your own country, then no one else will see that. I don't need you to say, Dr. Ameena, good job. I need you to come aboard and be a part of that solution. I need you to say to me, in what we do, I thank you for doing this. How can I help? Because that's how we continue this. And that's what keeps this fire ablaze.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also want to believe what your friend was saying, that you are going to have to, of course, expect that some people are going to just come out and begin to say all sorts of nonsense. No, they will never do it, and they will never encourage you to do it, but they will just be there trying to shoot hole into what is functioning. By the way, you need to keep fighting. When you believe in your cause, just keep fighting.
Correct.
I'm talking of fighting, talking of fire. In the next 10, 50 years from now, where do you see that? Because I see it burning even more.
Yeah, 50 years from now, I probably will just be closing my eyes good. I want to say I'm here for 50 more years. But even if I'm gone, I want to believe that fire will be raging across Africa. It will be the mainstay in Africa. It will be the small little UN for the common people. And it will be that representation where the fire embassy in whatever country you're in is going to be the voice of the small people. And I say the little people, not in condescending, but little people in the countries like me, like you, that don't have a banner that says that I work for the government or I work for a Goliath firm, need a voice. And we're going to be that voice. We're going to be the one you go to and you're going to write down your complaint. You're going to tell me what you need. You're going to tell me how you need it. And we're going to fight for you. And then we're going to use that as the platform to propel protocol, programs, events, and things that the Goliath firms need to see. We're going to be an aspect of PAD that when you go to PAD, you're going to say PAD or fire. You're going to say, I went to PAD, now I'm going to come to you. Yes, thank you very much. Or I went to fire now, and I'm going to tell you, go to PAD and say this there. Because if you got two people talking, it's going to blaze it even bigger. And then I'm going to tell you to go to the Human Rights Commission. And then I'm going to tell you to go and keep that going. But we're going to solidify your voice right where you are. So you're going to be important right there in the middle of Botswana, in the town, in the rural area of Nigeria, in the north where you don't have a voice. Even in areas like now, we're trying to get a piece where the people of Afghanistan have a voice, because the women were coming to us. They were like, we need a fire in Afghanistan. And I said, wow, I didn't even think about that. Until this little thing about Afghanistan happened, I didn't even think that there were voices like that are needed in Afghanistan. So we're looking into that, but 50 years from now, there's going to be a fire in Afghanistan. There's going to be one in Pakistan. There's going to be one in Rwanda, as powerful as it is in, Cambodia. But we're going to have a voice for the voiceless, and we're going to see this grow globally instead of just in Africa.